All right, welcome to another edition of On Tour with On Tour with Todd Probasco from Lakeside Bank. Uh, I'm really pleased to say that I got a new guest on today, Mr. Kenley Kaiserslot from Remax Rising in Central Illinois. How are you, Kenley?
Very good. Very good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. So here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about you, me, real estate, 2025, and maybe what you and I see for what's going to happen in 2026. People are always asking us, how's the market and what do you think is going to happen, right?
Exactly.
All right. So tell me a little bit about you. I think you had a background in insurance and you got into real estate.
Yeah, actually, I spent the beginning part of my career, well, the vast majority of my career, about 32 years with State Farm Insurance. I was actually in their financial services area there. After having graduated with a finance degree in Illinois State University prior to that. But yeah, now I've been doing real estate for almost 6 years here.
What actually did you do for State Farm?
I was actually, I approved suitability for their mutual funds, variable products, some more on their retail financial services side.
Nice. That's great. So you used your degree.
I used my degree, absolutely.
That's always important. We want to make sure we
absolutely.
use it. So do our kids, right? Because
Yes.
the cost of education is not cheap. So, all right. So for those of you who are just joining, I'm a mortgage banker. I'm the VP of Mortgage Lending at Lakeside Bank in Chicago, offering mortgage products. And we lend in all 50 states. So we got a little bit of everything going on. But enough about me. Let's talk about, why don't you and I chat about how 2025 was, because here we are at the end of the year. We'll start with you, and then I'll kind of give you feedback from the lending side. So how did you look? What did you see happen in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, 2025 ended up being my best year. Not exactly sure how that happened. I think maybe a little bit of, I was able to get the word out to a lot of people that I was now a realtor. But I know a lot of realtors struggled a little bit in 2025. It was a rough year. It seemed like for quite a few of them. So I guess I was kind of lucky to get some of the business that I did. But yeah, I had a lot of good momentum going. The summer was just absolutely crazy for me, but that's exactly what you look for.
Right.
I enjoyed being busy.
Good. Well, you are correct. 2025 was not a great year for the real estate market or industry. Majority of the people that I interact with had really a down year. If you look back, it seems like 3 years ago that we had an election and a change of the guard. It's really only been a year. Doesn't it seem like a long time ago?
It does. It does.
But soon as right after the inauguration, the talk of tariffs started, right?
Right.
And for those of you who are listening, everyone thinks that when the Fed sets the interest rate, that's what mortgage rates are, but that's not true. Right. Mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year Treasury note, which is very volatile and very sensitive to what's going on in the market, which is inflation, unemployment, supply and demand. We all learned that in school. Mm-hmm. And once that tariff nonsense started, it created uncertainty in the market.
Absolutely.
And the market, as you know, you were in finance, it doesn't like uncertainty. It likes more stable and be able to project and feel comfortable. But the market was up and down for the first and second quarter because the investors didn't like the conversation that was going on. Right. So what did that do? That raised interest rates. I think it also scared people out of the market because they turn on the TV and there'd be all this craziness going on. And if you're going to go spend $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, sometimes people get freaked out when the news isn't great.
Yeah, I think going into 2025, there were a lot of people that thought for sure interest rates are going down.
Right.
This is the year. Interest rates are going to go down. And when it didn't happen, and it didn't happen, another quarter passed by, it didn't happen. So yeah, I think that, like I said, it kind of led to a lot of frustration with a lot of people, but maybe that will lead to kind of the dam bursting in 2026, where we might start to see a lot more people, getting off their 2, 3, 4% mortgages that they're sitting on,
Right.
and opening up inventory a little bit. Because I know in my area in Central Illinois, particularly in Bloomington Normal, we are still short of inventory.
Yeah.
And that's not so much the case in a lot of the country anymore, but we are definitely still in a seller's market.
Yeah. Inventory is an issue, I think, in most places.
Mhm.
There's a term for that, and I'm the one I was selling them, those 3 and 4% interest rates. It's called, we have people locked in. They're locked in to where even if they need to move, they're not moving because they don't want to give up the interest rate. But we had a study done in the fourth quarter that more and more people are finally giving up that rate, and we have less people now with that lower rate because it's called life. You either got to upsize, downsize, or relocate. You got to move. That's a good segue to 2026. I agree with you. I think we're going to see more inventory in 2026. Hopefully we have some more stability in the market.
Right.
Rates have improved. For those of you who haven't checked, the fourth quarter, we're at a 12-month low right now in interest rates. So a 30-year fixed across the country right now is averaging around 6%.
Which is so weird because I think back to the very first mortgage that I had in the early 90s, and it was about 8.5%.
Right.
That's great. I would have loved to have had 6.5% back then. So
Right.
I mean, it's all relative, but we've been so used to those, 2, 3, 4% here that 6.5 has kind of shocked people.
Yeah. I think if we hover around 6 or get into the 5s,
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I think it'll help those people who have been thinking about moving, move.
I've heard a lot of people predict if it gets down to like 5.7, 5.5, then you're going to start to see a lot of that inventory loosen up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the magic number is.
Yeah.
But
if you and I knew that, we wouldn't be on this call. We'd be doing something
exactly.
else. Tell me about Central Illinois. I love Central Illinois. I know quite a bit about it. My family had a farm down there, as a matter of fact. What is the average home price that you're selling these days down in Central Illinois? What is the average price?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it has been so weird. Like prior to COVID, or early 2020, average home price was about 175,000.
Wow.
At that time. Things have just skyrocketed since then, and probably should have too, because for about 20 years prior to 2020, prices just remained pretty level in Central Illinois. So now I think we're up to where we should be. But yeah, since 2020, it's gone from that 175 now to about 230,000. So it's gone up significantly, which again, I think we're in line with where we probably always should have been.
230 is still a good price point compared to nationally.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. And you do have some expressways going through Central Illinois. You got 55, 74. So you can get in and out of there.
Yes.
And you got an airport there in Bloomington too, right?
Right. Correct. Yep.
Okay. And a big flight, you probably just transfer to Chicago and go from there. But
yeah, there's a lot of direct flights to Chicago, hubs in Chicago, Atlanta, and Dallas, actually. So
there you go.
Yeah, easy to get around.
Yep. All right. As we look to the new year, I did a little research to just be prepared for our call. And the experts, the talking heads of real estate, say they feel that interest rates are going to stay about where they're at now, around 6%. For you and I, it's kind of like what you just said since COVID. They said that price is going to start stabilizing. We're not going to see these big jumps anymore because there's going to be more inventory. So if there's more supply, that usually brings the price down a little bit. They're expecting about a 1% gain in value, and we can live with that. These jumps of 6, 8, 10% year over year, you wonder how much longer can the market sustain that,
Right.
But
And
when
that's exactly what we saw. Like the first 3 years, we had 10% year over year for about 3-4 years, and then about a couple of years of 6%. But yeah, it seems to be reaching a little bit of a plateau. We're not seeing a lot of houses bid up like they were early on.
Yeah.
Certain cases they still are, but it's not the norm so much anymore. But yeah, it does seem to be stabilizing.
Cool. For somebody who's interested in Central Illinois, whether it be they're getting out of college, they're getting a job, they're relocating. I know you have some industries there. You got State Farm, you've got Caterpillar, you've got Pioneer, I believe. You have some big companies there.
Yeah, and Rivian, actually, what has spurred a lot of the growth is Rivian's
the new car company.
Their plant is in Normal. So we've seen quite a lot of the demand in the last few years has come from Rivian's growth.
How are they doing?
I think they seem to be doing well. I mean, they had the first few years was a little rocky for them, which was probably to be expected. But there's a lot of other companies that have invested heavily into Rivian, such as Amazon, even Ford put a lot of money into it. So, I mean, there's a lot of money invested in their success, and they do seem to be kind of, I guess, close to reaching the scale that they need. Still a few bumps, but they do seem to be making it.
And it's kind of like a higher end electric car, right?
Exactly. Yep. And then they also do part of I think the investment with Amazon, they do a lot of electric delivery trucks now. So you're starting to see a lot more electric delivery trucks on the road that were manufactured by Rivian.
Nice. Well, besides the companies we just mentioned, give us your 30-second pitch on why someone would want to live in Central Illinois. Things like that, things to do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's got to be a great place to live. I've lived here my entire life and raised my family here as well. Not only do you have great schools, really, from Bloomington Normal itself, the school districts, there's 2 school districts, and both of them rate very high. Right on up, and you've got 2 universities, and Illinois State University and Illinois Wesleyan University. Junior colleges here, so education is really one of the things we're known for here. But it's just a great place to raise a family. It's still a place that you can let your kids play out in the street and not really have to worry about them, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. And then you probably have some local sporting events. You got ISU. Is there minor league baseball or anything like that down there?
We have like an independent kind of a collegiate league, the Normal Corn Belters in the summer, and we have a professional hockey team in the East Coast Hockey League, our Bloomington Bison. This is their 2nd year, and I don't know even if you're not a hockey fan, it is fun to watch hockey games in person. It really is. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I do love to go to the games.
Aren't they? Hockey games in person are the best. I tell people, because I go to the Blackhawks quite a bit, and it's the one sport that is still better in person. Like football, it's fun to go to a football game, but the game now is built for TV.
Yeah.
But hockey in person, oh my God.
Absolutely.
So good. Yeah. So much fun. A couple beers in a hockey game, you can't beat it.
Oh yeah, and it's not a huge. We've got a stadium that holds probably for hockey games maybe about 5,000-6,000 people. So it's still somewhat intimate. So you're close to the action.
That makes it even better.
Absolutely, yeah, it is a ton of fun. I mean, I recommend it for Bloomington Normal has never traditionally supported sporting events all that much, but the Bison do seem to be catching on here. And so trying to continue to get the word out. Of course, I advertise with the Bloomington Bison as well, but
There you go.
I enjoy being part of,
That's awesome.
Their inaugural season last year and then the second season this year.
I might have to make a road trip down for a Bison game.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
There you go. All right. As we get ready to turn the calendar over to 2026, I think we're going to see a better year in all aspects. Congratulations to you having a good 2025.
Thank you.
But for the people listening, I think if you're thinking about buying or selling or even refinancing, I think we're going to see more inventory. We're going to see rates stabilize.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people who had to buy in the last year and a half, they're candidates to refinance already. Because we got over, like in the fall of last year, we got over 7%. We were clipping it, 7.1, 7.2.
Mm-hmm.
So the old rule is if you could drop 0.5%, it's usually worth refining. So that's going on. But some things that I want to share with you and the people watching, technology, it continues to evolve in our industry. And I just want to share with you how I found you and got connected with you, which I think are how a lot of people are going to find you and I moving forward. So I thought, okay, I'm going to expand my horizon. I'm going to go look in Central Illinois and see who's making it happen. And the new website that really started not that long ago, which had its debut in the Super Bowl, was homes.com.
Right.
And their advertising and marketing is phenomenal. But the technology behind that, where for those of you listening, you go to homes.com and you can search by area, you can search by agent, but let's just say you search Central Illinois or Bloomington Normal and Kenley shows up. It then tells us all about you. It talks about who you are, your sales results, what you've done. But then if I go look at a house in Bloomington, which could be a big area, it breaks it down to the actual neighborhood and tells you about that neighborhood, the schools, and what's great about that area. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. You didn't know that, but that's how I found you. And I was so glad that we connected, but I think everybody really needs to take notice that homes.com it's the real deal.
Yeah. And I've been a part of homes.com now for a little over a year, when they really kind of expanded into Central Illinois too. And to your point on the neighborhood information, they actually asked me about several neighborhoods. So
really,
yes, that information, a lot of it comes from actual local.
We're going to see you on the helicopter taking off to go look at another neighborhood.
Exactly. Yep. So I gave them the write up on, I don't remember how many, at least 6 or 7 different neighborhoods, I think.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many neighbors has that helicopter been to? I'm like, right? You could go anywhere on there and it's like, it breaks it down. Like, it's amazing. So really cool. Thought I'd share that's how you and I got connected, and anybody looking to buy or sell, definitely check out homes.com. And before we put a bow around this, I want to say it's been nice to meet you and do this. Yeah. And anybody on here, if you're thinking about buying or selling in Central Illinois, I would definitely connect with Kenley. And if you're looking to get a mortgage, TP the mortgage guys, some people call me, I'm here and I'm always available. So how about some closing comments from you on the year and what you're looking forward to next year with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking 2026 is going to be even better for me. Just kind of looking ahead, I kind of keep a list of people I know that might be potential buyers and potential sellers, and I keep looking over that list every once in a while, and I'm thinking most of those people, some of them won't come to fruition, but most of them, I think 2026 is going to be the year they're going to do something. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of movement in Central Illinois. Again, interest rates are going to probably dictate a lot of it, but the earlier people start looking, a lot of people do start looking the first of the year that might be looking to buy. It is a really good time to start and start planning, whether you're buying or selling. Start the process early, do some research, talk to people. Certainly, I'm somebody, give me a call. Even if you on the fence of something, and you got questions, let me know. I'm here to help you one way or the other, whether you decide to buy or sell or not. If you've got questions, I want to help you.
Love it. Love it. Same. I believe that one of the main things you and I do is to look out for the client's best interest, and coaching and consulting is important because a lot of people are freaked out about buying a house. So that's nice that you said that. So my thoughts for the new year, I agree wholeheartedly. I think there's going to be more inventory. I think we're going to see rates hold, and first quarter is a great time to start looking. A few years ago, they said the spring market now starts the day after the Super Bowl. But we've seen activity in January the last couple of years that picked up. After the holidays, people are like, it's time to buy or sell. So could be a good time because there might be less people in the market, where if you're a buyer right now, we're seeing multiple offers on these houses that maybe in January you got a better shot at getting something. And if you're a seller, there might be less inventory. Good time to put your house on the market to get top dollar also, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, on behalf of Kenley and myself, I want to thank everybody for listening. And we wish you a very happy new year. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in Central Illinois, please reach out to my friend Kenley. And if you need a mortgage, feel free to reach out. Have a great day. Thank you.